What's up, YouTube friends? So this is just a little tip about getting dumpsters out to your property and hiring those and what happens when you get one. If you're new in this business, you might do a bunch of houses before you ever start renting one of these dumpsters. I sure did. I probably had 10, 12 properties before I even rented my first dumpster. That said, I learned a few things about them. I've probably got 6 or 7 of these out placed right now. I always get the 40 cubic yard dumpsters. For me, in this location, they're the same price as getting a 30, and so I want the extra high walls, and I'll show you that here in a second. But I want the extra high walls so that the neighbors and people driving by are less tempted to try and loft big heavy stuff up into my dumpster and fill it up. Every time I do one of these dumpsters, it's anywhere between $400 and $600 depending on who I rent from. Hopefully closer to $400 if I can do it. On one dumpster at one house, I even had one of these where people had piled so much junk on the top of it after it was already full that I had to get another 20-yard dumpster out next to it and pay guys to offload everything that was in the top of that off to a new dumpster. So I had to even pay extra just to get my dumpster out of there because these companies will not take a dumpster that's overflowing. This one I've already walked through and tried to pack down some stuff and get some of the material from sticking up off the top. They just don't want things blowing off the top of the dumpster and hitting vehicles around as they go to take this to the dump. So it's kind of a liability and a safety thing. If somebody does throw a bunch of stuff up here, you're gonna have to get it off. Most of the dumpster stump companies aren't gonna take it when it's overflowing. They'll probably take it like this. We'll get that little piece over there kind of piled down in. And there's actually a lot of room in a couple of spots like this and over in here to add a little bit of a last layer on the top as long as we keep it nice and flat. So we just knocked out the top cabinets on this house, and I think if we crush them down just right, we'll be able to get them to fit in this dumpster, and then we'll get this dumpster hauled off before anybody puts anything else in it. Let's jump down to the ground now so you can see how big this dumpster is and how tall the walls are so that you can get an idea of how difficult it would be for your neighbors to throw their junk into your dumpster. All right, it's a little rainy today, so hopefully I don't die. All right, so you can see how tall this dumpster is up over my head. I'm 6 foot and it's running at about 7.5 feet tall. That's gonna make it a little difficult for anybody to throw something really big and heavy like a sofa into, but I have had people throw full-size chairs into these dumpsters before. So in theory, the taller the walls, the harder it is for somebody to take advantage of you. Unfortunately, they still do this, so no matter what, plan on people throwing things in there and plan on having to maybe use an extra dumpster more than you expected. Usually when you set these, they drop them off with the big door that opens towards the back of the truck, so it's always going to be pointed towards the garage. So that's good. I like to tell them to set that where the door will still open and not hit this gutter or the garage door, because a lot of times when we first get started, those guys will open that big door, swing it wide open, and start loading the very front of the dumpster first, so that then they can keep filling it up, and then at the end they'll close the door and then just pile it high. Well, there's nothing that exciting about this dumpster video, but hopefully a few tips will help you run numbers better as you prepare to do one of your rehabs or a rehab for rent or flip project or something like that. This video channel is called Flippin' Dirty, so the whole dumpster thing does fit well within our channel, I suppose. If you have any properties that you're looking at flipping or maybe wholesaling out to somebody and don't know who to go to, don't know how to price the property, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to help. I'm also looking to buy, and if you find something that maybe I can get into, then please just take my money. I'll be happy to buy that from you. The market's crazy hot right now, so I'm trying to do as many deals as possible in the Oklahoma City and the Pensacola markets. Until next time, I'll see you around.